Right now at 6, the winds of change might be starting to blow soon, but we still got some haze we've got to deal with. We're going to have the latest on the air quality's impact on our skies.
Plus, indicted for a second time, how former President Donald Trump is reacting and what we know so far on this latest federal indictment.
And ahead at 6:30, one Connecticut city is ready to hit the gas on road safety. What you need to know about the mission to implement red light cameras. All that and more, starting right now.
Fox 61, Connecticut's news station, begins with a Weather Watch alert.
Good Friday morning. A statewide air quality alert is still in effect, but relief is on the way. Thanks for starting off your Friday morning with us, America Arias.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Good morning. Let's get right over to meteorologist Rachel Piscatelli. So much to talk about, even outside of the air quality. We just got the general weekend forecast, too.
Yeah, we have lots to talk about, and we are trending in the right direction as we approach this upcoming weekend. But in the meantime, still an air quality alert until 1 p.m. today. But if we take a look at this map, you can actually see to the north of us some cleaner air. So there's not an air quality alert for portions of northern Massachusetts. So that's kind of nice to see. And that is what our weather is going to be as we approach this afternoon and evening. So we have this air quality alert again for the wildfire smoke that's in Canada that reduces the air quality. However, you can actually see in northwestern Connecticut, portions of Waterbury and into Danbury, better air quality has moved in. We're still in this unhealthy for sensitive groups from Hartford down into New Haven, but we are expecting improvements, but still hanging on in southeastern Connecticut to unhealthy for just about everybody in that general area. So we'll continue to watch that closely. Otherwise, right now over in Hartford, this is what it looks like. We can actually see the sun. It's not filtered. 51 degrees with winds out of the southeast 3 miles per hour. It's cooler across the board, 40s and 50s right now, 46 degrees in Torrington, 47 in Willimantic. So right now, 52 degrees, but we are bringing in a rising chance for some spotty showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. We'll time that out for you coming up in just a bit. But it is 6:02. We want to send things over to Lindsay Kane, who is down by the shoreline now in New Haven. Lindsay, we are trending in the right direction, but folks still need to take caution if they're part of the sensitive group with those respiratory issues.
All right, good morning. Yeah, exactly, Rachel. Things are looking better out here today than they were yesterday, but you can still see a little bit of the haze still in the air. But groups all over Connecticut are working together in order to take care of the most vulnerable during this time. Now, last year I stopped by UConn Health, and students and professors were making air purifiers to get rid of the COVID-19 particles that were in the air of a home or school. Well, now they're using those same air purifiers and giving them out to people in the community in need in order to get rid of the smoke particles from air inside their home. Now, we all know that the smoke, of course, is coming from the wildfires in Canada. We've seen it over the last few days. It is expected to get better at least a little bit later today, but health officials are encouraging the most vulnerable to stay indoors, and they're even warning healthy individuals to just limit time outside. At UConn Health in Farmington, those homemade air purifiers are still being given out to the community. Now, what originally started as a COVID-19 mitigation method is now a saving grace for people needing to clean the smoke particles out of their homes.
So they all come together and they build hundreds of boxes a semester. We pass them out to the communities. And the beautiful thing is, in moments like this, we already have these on hand, so we're able to give these to the communities for free.
Health experts say it's still a good idea to wear an N95 mask outside if you need to be outside and you have health complications. Now, that's the only mask that will limit you from breathing in the smoky air particles. But coming up in the next hour, we'll hear from the Department of Public Health with more recommendations for people in order to stay safe during these conditions. Live in New Haven this morning, Lindsay Kane, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Lindsay, thank you for that update. Yeah, cool to see those boxes getting made, a little DIY purifiers. All right, for complete coverage and tips on how to stay safe outside, you can scan the QR code right there on your screen to get the free Fox 61 News app if you don't have it already. Or, of course, you can go to fox61.com. All right, let's check the roads with Symphony Privet. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, sunshine. Let's go ahead and take a look at how the morning commute is shaping up on this Friday. We do have an accident to tell you about this morning happening over in the Trumbull area. This is on Route 108, the Huntington Turnpike. It's blocked in both directions right now as crews are working to get that cleared up. So you can expect a little bit of a delay in that area right now. Checking out the Hartford camera here in downtown Hartford, we can see traffic starting to pick up, but Smooth sailing so far through the capital city. There's a little bit of a slowdown on Route 2 west from Glastonbury to the Founders Bridge. That's going to take you about 10 minutes. Otherwise, 91 and 84. Smooth sailing over there so far. Checking out the shoreline this morning. I-95 over in Norwalk and Stamford. Same scene down there. Accident free so far. Wrapping up with the drive times in Fairfield County. A little bit of a slowdown on 95 south from Bridgeport to Fairfield, but otherwise should be good for you as you're heading out the door in that direction on this Friday. We'll have another update for you in about 30 minutes.
All right, Tiffany, thanks so much. Well, right now at 6, former President Donald Trump has been indicted for a second time. This time it's on a federal charge.
This morning, the Department of Justice still has not confirmed that indictment, but Trump did. He posted the news on his social media platform, Truth Social. Two people familiar with the situation did confirm to the Associated Press as well that the former president is facing 7 counts related to obstruction of justice, conspiracy, and whether he illegally kept classified documents.
Now, this all comes after months-long investigation into whether Trump broke the law by holding on to hundreds of classified documents at Mar-a-Lago. Prosecutors say Trump took about 300 classified documents to the Florida estate after he left the White House, and that includes about 100 that were found during a search of Mar-a-Lago last August. Legal experts we spoke to believe past interviews with reporters may have contributed to the indictment.
We've heard reports of former President Trump making statements to a reporter that he had retained classified documents. That's a knowing wrongful retention of a document. Again, he could be hurt at the end of the day by his own words the most, as opposed to anything else.
Well, Trump has already been indicted in a completely separate case in New York in which he's facing 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. And he's also facing investigations in Washington, D.C. and in Georgia.
Now, in his post on his Truth Social website, Trump says that he is an innocent man and accused the Biden administration of election interference.
Trump also said he is due in federal court in Miami Tuesday afternoon.
And we're also learning this morning that the former president is asking for a new trial in an unrelated civil case with columnist E. Jean Carroll. A jury awarded Carroll $5 million after it concluded that she was sexually assaulted by him in 1996 and was defamed by Trump's comments about her. Trump's lawyers are arguing that the $2 million for sexual abuse claim of the verdict was excessive since the jury found that Carroll was not raped. Trump has repeatedly denied the claims and is appealing the verdict.
Well, Connecticut State Police are addressing community concerns after a street takeover in Tolland left a woman's car and possibly her life in danger.
Yeah, the forum was held last night as a way for anyone to have questions answered. Fox 61's Brooke Griffin is live in Middletown now with more on how police responded. Brooke, good morning.
Good morning to you both. State police tell us that many residents have expressed concern for what they believe is a lack of police response during that night's takeover. They tell us that officers were in fact nearby. They were just in the form of an undercover task force. Now, in that forum last night, police told residents this task force with the FBI was in the area of the night of the May 21st Tolland Street takeover, where a woman trying to get through the crowd ended up getting trapped. Her car was beaten and jumped on, and it left her car with heavy damage. Since then, local leaders and community members have raised questions about where the police were that night. State police say they were nearby, watching at a distance and following orders to operate under extreme caution. They say these takeover groups, mostly consisting of teenagers, seem to be tasked with dangerously engaging with police, including boxing in their cruisers and attacking them, but say when there is a threat to public safety, the police are given orders to intervene. State police tell us they've already made 2 arrests and they're now looking for more.
These task force officers have been going out and trying to observe and gather intelligence to find out who these key leaders are, to find out who is the ringleaders of these situations, and hopefully in the future we'll have future arrests of these individuals.
And lawmakers are tackling this issue as well. Within this past legislative session, they were able to pass a bill that would make any street takeover charges a felony instead of just a misdemeanor. They say that they've also created a regional task force to respond to any takeover type events. Live in Middletown, Brooke Griffin, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Okay, thank you so much, Brooke. We certainly appreciate that update. All right, the lawyer for a New Haven man who was paralyzed in police custody said it wasn't enough that 2 officers were fired. Attorney Benjamin Crump said there needs to be criminal convictions and changes to the law going forward. Now, Cox was paralyzed in the back of a police van 2 years ago. 5 officers were charged with reckless endangerment. 2 of them, officers Jocelyn Lavandier and Luis Rivera, were fired this week, and 2 others could be fired later this month. The 5th officer has since retired.